In the bustling streets of Brooklyn, where historic brownstones met modern high-rises, lived a young street artist named Ethan. His canvases were the city's walls, and his colors the mirror of his soul. Ethan had a magical touch. He could breathe life into ordinary things, but his own life wasn't as vibrant as his art. He lived in a small rented apartment and often struggled to afford his next meal. His biggest dream was to showcase his art to the world, but he lacked the means. Ethan often sat near a busy square in Greenwich Village, sketching in his notebook. There, an elderly man named Arthur would sit on a bench every evening. Arthur wore old, worn-out clothes and often seemed lost in thought. People usually dismissed him as a poor, lonely senior, paying him little attention. It was a cold evening. Ethan hadn't made much money all day and had only one slice of pizza left, which he had saved for his dinner. He noticed Arthur shivering on the bench, his eyes gleaming with hunger. For a moment, Ethan remembered his own hunger, but then he listened to his heart. He walked up to Arthur and with a kind smile said, "Sir, would you like this pizza? I just got it." Arthur looked at Ethan with surprise, his eyes filled with disbelief. He slowly took the pizza and looked at Ethan with watery eyes. "Son, you look hungry yourself. Still, thank you very much," he said. Ethan simply smiled and immersed himself back into his sketchbook. He didn't know that Arthur was actually Mr. Arthur Sterling, one of the city's most prominent and respected art collectors. He often ventured out in simple clothes to observe people's true nature and discover untapped talents. He had been watching Ethan in the square for several days, recognizing his artistic skill and humble demeanor. The next day, when Ethan arrived at the same square, he saw Arthur standing near him. There was a gentle smile on his face. "Son, I really liked the sketch you made yesterday," Arthur said. "You are very talented. Would you like to bring your art to the world?" Ethan was stunned. He never imagined that an elderly man would take his art so seriously. He nodded. "All right then," Arthur said. "I want to give you an opportunity to refine your art." Ethan couldn't believe his eyes. Arthur gave him the address of his office and asked him to visit the next day. The following day, when Ethan arrived at the address, he was astonished to see a magnificent art gallery and a lavish office. Inside, he learned that Arthur was indeed the esteemed art dealer and collector, Mr. Arthur Sterling, who owned one of the city's largest art collections. Arthur offered Ethan a proposal to hold his first solo exhibition in his gallery. He also provided him with a studio, art supplies, and a living space so he could fully focus on his art. Tears welled up in Ethan's eyes. His small act of kindness had made his biggest dream come true. He worked with dedication and passion. His first exhibition was a huge success. His art was highly praised, and he received several important commissions. Ethan never abandoned his kindness. Along with his success, he also initiated a program to help other young, struggling artists, giving them a chance to showcase their talent. Arthur remained his mentor and guide, always reminding him that true art always comes from the heart.